Alright guys, it is with a heavy heart that I come to you guys today. Um, this is going to be completely unscripted, off the cuff. We're going to get into this video about the cancellations at DC in just a moment, but I do want to point out the massive tragedy that's happening right now in Beirut, in Lebanon, just because they're suffering a huge loss, more than 300 deaths and more than 1,000, plus injuries. A lot of people say that our government is corrupt, or we don't have the best system and stuff like that wherever you are, whether it's in the United States, Canada, France, whatever. But Lebanon has it pretty bad right now. So all my prayers, all my positive energy, all my thoughts go out to the families that have lost loved ones through this time. So I just want to take a moment out of respect just to pay to them and pray, that God would work into their lives and hopefully turn this mess for the greater good, for His good. So there's conflicting stories about the situation, whether it's a fireworks factory or whether it was a welder had a wrong spark in a ship or something like that. There's different stories coming in from every other place, but wherever the true story is, they still protest, even though that they had their prime minister and his cabinet resign. That doesn't solve the issues of what's going on over there. So I just want to take this moment out to pay respects and pray for them before we start this video. Unfortunately, this video is not going to get any higher on that positive note, so I apologize for that. Because DC Comics, as we're going to switch right here on the screen in just a second. DC cancels Teen Titans, Young Justice, Suicide Squad, Hawkman, and more. So I remember seeing a article about late last year in 2019 saying that because the DC Comics had merged with, I believe, is it AT&T or something like that, or I forgot who had brought them out or who's over them, but they said if 5G didn't work, then DC was getting the boot, basically, all the comics, print wise at least. So that's also disheartening, just because Rona, the virus affects everybody with these layoffs, and people like Marvel and the big mouths aren't and DC aren't immune to that. So it could take a role of why these authors are getting laid off, or just because they didn't reach a quota for whatever. I don't know the actual reason. We're just gonna go into this right quick. It says, following the cancellations of Batgirl, Batman, The Outsiders, and Justice League Odyssey in October, more DC titles are scheduled to get the axe in November. DC just released November's solicitations, revealing that Teen Titans, Young Justice, Suicide Squad, Hawkman, and John Constantine Hellblazer are all ending in November, with a cryptic message about Aquaman that makes the title's fate questionable. So Aquaman's kind of still stuck in limbo right now. It's kind of crazy how you would think that at least some of these titles are doing really well. From what I understand, Young Justice was still popping, especially because they just had the Young Justice Outsiders on DC Universe. But then DC Universe, the streaming service, not the game, excuse me, is also kind of in a limbo fate because all of their original series are going to HBO Max instead of staying on this. I don't know if the streaming service is going to shut down as well, because I know for a fact that Stargirl and I think Swamp Thing is already crossing over to the CW. So if you go on the CW app or the CW website, you can actually watch Stargirl for free, legally for free. I think it's the Wednesday after it airs that goes straight to CW. You got some ads or whatever, that's the price you paid because you're not paying the price. Your price is your time instead of your money, which is wild to me because I would have thought that they would have kept Stargirl as an exclusive, and maybe that was a telltale sign about the true situation that they were really in and how much trouble that DC was really in. And that's why they were doing these deals and soliciting their original content to these other brands such as HBO Max and the CW. But this is all speculation, so I'm not exactly sure. I'm not gonna try to keep this too long. The question is, is there a word from the Lord? If you know what I mean. The question is this one of the final nails in the coffin for DC? Like, Marvel is still kind of hanging in there. Mind you, Marvel is not in a perfect situation either because of this whole catastrophe and disaster. As we can see here on the CNBC website, this article is from like July 23rd, and the other one was from Games Radar, from about 5 days ago. But the whole issue blown up online with Mulan was that you have to pay for Disney Plus, which I currently have. But then on top of that, you had to pay like $29.99 for the actual Mulan movie, and then you can like watch it unlimited. But like, you're not paying $29.99 for a regular movie ticket, you know? So it's just on top of the subscription price, it adds up, which makes me really, really sad because apparently Mulan was supposed to be like one of the first like Disney movies that had like a predominantly all Asian cast. I want to say all Asian directors and stuff like that. Even like with the people working behind the scenes of like the lighting and stuff like that around set. So it had a huge promise, even though I know a lot of people were mad because it didn't have Mushu in it, and it didn't have any original songs because of the time gap, like I'll Make a Man Out of You is no longer acceptable and stuff like that. I understand that. I'm not mad at it for it, but it looked like it had like its own promise with its original premise of like the whole like witch versus Mulan kind of, you know, dynamic. I was really excited to see that. But now I'm like, basically, if I want to see it, it's going to be, for me, about $32+, and I'm just like, for a movie with a subscription by itself, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's worth it anymore, you know? But I understand that, honestly, like, the movie wants to get its money back for like the millions of dollars that it's put into it. But at the same time, hear me out, I don't think a lot of people are going to go for it. Because if you're paying like less than $15 just to go see a movie ticket anyways, like, you're basically paying $29.99 if you was buying like the movie off the shelf clean, like free. You know, not free, but new, you know what I'm saying? That's a steep ask for a lot of customers. I don't know. To me, I think it is. But, however, I also heard rumors that Mulan was also in the pipeline to just be pushed back indefinitely. Like, not to be released at all. So I guess this is like the best solution that they came up with to still get it done or get it out there to the public. To, you know, obviously putting it on Disney Plus was a good move in my opinion. But to have it charged this high, though, I'm not exactly too sure about that. It's also affecting Star Wars and Avatar. It says everything's getting pushed back by a year. You can see right here the additional slate changes include the personal history of David Copperfield moving to August 28th, which is strange because according to like the New Mutants trailer, they're actually going to go forward with them being in the movie theaters on August 28th, since a lot of movie theaters right now, or at least AMC, is going to be like 15 cents to get in, and you watch the movie. Please still wear a mask, you know, still be safe out there, but it is going to be a condensed area of people, and probably going to still be eating and drinking and, you know, whatever. Just, if you guys do go out for the 15-cent movie, please be careful. But I just want to make a few more notes. But it says like Avatar 2 was pushed back to December, like late 2022. Avatar 3 late 2024. Avatar 4 is late 2026. Untitled Star Wars movie late 2027 and so forth. You know. But I don't know. I don't know if this is like potentially the end of DC Comics as we know it. Because if you've seen the Apocalypse War movie that just came out a few months back, spoiler alert, if you want to skip it, if you're actually even here to this long, you know, respect, thank you, leave a like and subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and leave a comment if you want to let me know how you feel about the situation. But this is crazy. Because, like, the movie theaters are going back on the 28th. So, technically, Disney could have still put Mulan out into the theaters if this works. So I know Mutants had like 3 other dates beforehand that they even like kind of like tease themselves and make fun of themselves in the trailer, saying like, nope, we thought it was this date, and they scratched it out and it drops, and it's the next day, now it's the 28th. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below about, like, I mean, personally, I think the mouse is going to survive because the mouse is just so massive, from the money from Disneyland by itself to all the merchandise Marvel can put in. But DC does not have that same footing though. Let me know in the comments below if you think DC will survive this. If you think that the reboot from Apocalypse War with Flash running back in time, redoing the whole thing again, is going to allow them to continue their animated movie universe, or if DC is just going to be a past like milestone thing. And I really hope it's not, because I hope DC, or at least Young Justice, like continues to keep going on, because I want to see my boy Static Shock. I want to see the superhero shows on the CW, even though some of them have worn out their welcome. And I'm pretty sure that's why Arrow eventually like left, because it's just been on for so long. Flash is still there, Supergirl is still there, despite how you feel about it. Batwoman is still there, technically, even though it's going to be a new actress for season 2. Like, it has potential. Legends of Tomorrow, like, it has the potential to be like its own little multiverse. But I just don't know. If anything, this has been your boy Memento Mori here with Darker Than Xana. And just like the Flash at the end of that movie, we gotta launch a Return to the Past to fix this.
Return to the past now.